Hey guys, Taylor with GammaEdge here, coming at you with a quick market status for Friday, April 28th. Here's our general disclaimer. Give this a read when you've done so. Let's move on. Before we go on with the normal stuff, one thing I just want to hit on. This is yesterday's SPY full complex. This is this morning's full complex. Note the change in the delta, note the change in the GEX. This is why we do what we do. This pretty good explainer of why we saw the move yesterday that we did. If you do not understand this, feel free to ask us questions. Happy to go through it. And with that, let's get on to the regularly scheduled program. So here is our tick US model. Thing to note, yesterday we had a trend flip of the cumulative tick, now above short-term moving average ribbon. That is starting to uninvert. If we get continuation higher today, likely get the railroad track signal here. Long term, still a downtrend, nothing's changed there. And then rounding out the filter tick, we did see significant buying throughout the session, particularly in the afternoon. But then new lows did outpace new highs, so kind of one black eye. However, was a good start. However, it's just that was one day. One day doesn't make a trend. We do need to see follow through here. Looking at the tick ARCX model, much more of a pronounced move higher, very much a linear day, like we like to say. Moving average ribbon is starting to uninvert. Again, we will get a track higher if we do get continuation higher today. Longer term moving average ribbon, just note the compression here. Really on the back of two massive down days and one up day, so we need to keep an eye on this as well. Likely to start to invert if this cumulative tick stays below it, so that would turn off a long-term signal. Right now it's still on. All of our short-term signals are turned off. So again, same thing we just talked about. One day doesn't make a trend, but it is a good start. Looking at price action here, this is our 10 a.m. script. This is the main script that I use. Things to note, just note the price action in the SPY, SPX right around 0 gex. We held this level early in the session. Then we continued higher. That was kind of a sign to me could get some kind of move higher. That and really just price action. We had a higher high here, potential higher low here was confirmed when we broke above the higher high, and then away we went. Let's see, just looking at other things. Again, you can note just QQQs triggered right around P-trans, got to push higher. So yeah, I mean, the way I like to use these levels, if I see price structures bullish or bearish, then I'm going to be looking for a level that I can size my risk against. So in the case of the QQQs here, I was seeing that price structure was bullish on most stocks. QQQs was consolidating right around P-trans. This was a good level to risk against, so you could have risked against there with a trade higher, which was up to 320 was the target, and we got there. So now looking at the individual stocks, really nothing to note on Apple, no real interactions with any levels. Same thing with Tesla. Same thing with Microsoft. Nvidia was a great example. Just note the interaction with 0 gex early in the session. Pretty volatile action here. However, we really got a dampening of price and volatility compression right here around 0 gex. We at this time we would have seen the SPY, SPX push higher. So I mean, this would have been a great risk to reward trade. You were risking, I don't know, not a lot to with a move. I don't know, 2, 3 to 1 up to P-trans, and then you could have been trimmed some there, play it higher so long as the general market was pushing higher. So that's a good risk to reward trade there. Looking at a couple other liquidity stocks, Google, not much to say about. Meta, not a ton to say about. Just note it got up to plus gex, and from there kind of had trouble pushing higher. Netflix, thing about Netflix, really found support around its negative gex level, push up to 0 gex. Yeah, it's kind of a counterintuitive trade. However, if you look at this stuff over and over, you know that all these levels can work as good reference points, whether if your bias is bullish or bearish. So an example there, you saw kind of a double test of negative gex. You saw the general market push higher. So, I mean, you're risking really pennies to make dollars here up to 0 gex. So just kind of something to keep in mind. And again, AMD, yeah, you had the large sell-off, you had a V bottom. However, then you get a consolidation right here, right below 0 gex. Could have played for a push up to P-trans. Again, great risk to reward trade. At the end of the day, that's what it's about, just constructing these risk to reward trades, doing that over and over and over again. Baba thing to note, thing I want to note here is really just the interaction with in trans, that's negative transition level, then a push up to 0 gex. somewhat of a common play when we do interact with negative trends. I mean, I will admit it was kind of sloppy price action around negative trends. Maybe zoom into 2 minute chart, 1 minute chart, you could have gotten a better entry. So just wanted to point that out for you guys. Now moving on to the 5 p.m. script. This is our best guess where price is going to be without until we get the updates after shortly after the market open. SPY, good thing is we were right back to the transition level again. Good to see price kind of within the transition level. You don't want to get too far extended one way or another. The rubber band example that Paul always talks about. So potentially looking at some kind of trade around the P trans level. Maybe we get a pullback to COTMP or zero GEX for the trade higher as well. However, if price does flip back bearish, and I will be using these levels as reference points for potential trades to the downside. Same thought process with SPX, IWM. Pretty far from any significant levels. We do have COTMP down here. However, I think SPY looks a better setup right now than IWM. And then lastly, we have Qs. Qs, you're right around 320. This is a very dominant level. So if we do get some kind of pullback into this key area of our levels, be interesting to look for a potential trade there. So now moving on, first set of liquidity stocks. Tesla looks interesting right around it's zero GEX here to open up. NVIDIA, found support at P-Trans in the pre-market, push higher. Maybe we get some kind of retest and push higher. So something to look for there. Lastly, last set of liquidity stocks. AMD right at P-Trans, something to look for there. And then Netflix right around zero GEX. So something to look for there. So with that, see you all shortly in the room. Be streaming today, be on voice and whatnot. It's not signaling trades, posting trades if they are taken. And with that, have a good day, have a good weekend, and talk to y'all later. Bye.